As every day, we will start the session with a prayer. Om Saishwaraya Vidmahe Sathya Devaya Dhimahi Tanna Sarva Prachodayat. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. So welcome all of you to yet another day, the day before the final day of the English workshop. So yesterday, while walking down from Primamritam, teacher sisters and I were walking along and discussing about the English, how to improve the English language. And what can they do on going back? What can we do on going back to the campus? What is the immediate thing we can do? So we discussed about it, and then when I reached home, it came to my mind. This happened when my son was about 1.5 years old. He had some ailment for which he had to be hospitalized, and after that, when he came home, the doctors recommended that give him an egg daily. So we started giving him an egg daily, although 1.5 years is too young an age to introduce this. But because the doctor had told, we started off on that. So after a few weeks, he started getting used to it. He wanted that egg daily. So every morning while sitting for breakfast, he said, I want egg. I want egg. So it was recommended by the doctor, so we were giving it to him. But after a few weeks, after nearly 3 weeks, it had to be stopped. The doctor said, okay, now you can stop giving egg. So then morning he says, egg, I want egg. So then we used to discuss, should we, his father and I used to discuss, should we give him or not, just to oblige him, just so that he will not throw tantrums. So then we started saying, should we give the EGG? Shall we give EGG or not? So this we know that egg he will understand, but if we say EGG, he might not understand it. But the point is, after 3 days, he caught on to that. I want egg. When you said EGG, immediately said, I want egg. So this is at 1.5 years. So what does that mean? That means that when a child is picking up, he was not taught the spelling. He knows what this stands for. No spelling, nothing, but how did he know that this is what it stands for? This is the thing with children. They have got an intuitive knowledge. They know this stands for this. We don't really have to teach. Only keep on speaking and they listening. We speak, they listen. They speak, we listen. And it's just that speaking and listening activity which will upgrade the child's language skills. So we're here now. I now give the mic, hand the mic over to Ananta Krishna brother for his daily.
Thank you, sister. Om Shri Sai Ram, offering ourselves at the divine lotus feet of her most beloved Swami. Just now what sister said was so very, very relevant. And all these activities that we are doing, they are based on that principle. So we have to just keep doing it irrespective of the result quite a bit, We should not be so obsessed with the result. Bhagavad Gita itself says, Karmanye Vadikaraste. So keep doing these activities, because what generally happens is when we do any activity, we want results from children, we want quick results, and that demotivates us. But if you understand into the nature of things, we understand that over a period of time, everything happens. For everything, time is required. Clouds gather after some time. There is a process for it. There is a process for that, and after some time only the clouds gather. The rains happen. For everything, there is a particular time. If a seed has to grow into a gigantic tree, it requires time. It has to germinate, it has to get nurtured, and then only it will grow. Once it grows, it will start yielding fruits. But until then, if we become very impatient and think that it should grow today, tomorrow itself, it's not possible. Like in Mahabharata, there's a story that Gandhari, Mother Gandhari became impatient to give birth to her children, because she came to know that Kunti Devi, her sister-in-law, correct? Her co-sister, Kunti, her co-sister, she had given birth to Pandavas. And she was like, she was very impatient that why she is not yet she has given birth to her children. So she, in fact, she was pregnant, but the story says, the one version of the story, because there are many versions also in Puranic stories. So one version says that he actually, begged into her, it was almost like abortion kind of thing. So forcibly it came out, and then, they submitted to sage Vyasa, they prayed that, this has happened, she implored, she bemoaned and all that. And then sage Vyasa took pity on her and made 1,000 pieces of that fetus, and then that's how he, with his yogic powers, he saw that 100 children were born. So all that. So impatience leads to harmful results. So this itself is an example. Impatience leads to harmful results. So what is the biggest lesson that we learn in this workshop? 6th and 7th is the formative age where they are gathering things. We must not disturb the children at that time. Now, if you disturb the children with expectations, with fears, instilling fears, exams, speak out, will give marks, all this will disturb their mental poise, the equipoise that they are having. They'll be so focused on obtaining that knowledge that if you don't disturb, over a period of time, you will see they themselves will start talking. In fact, even for 8th, 9th, some of the activities which but I'll tell you how we are speaking of one thing in one context, that one is right from 6th class and 7th class, we lay the foundation and then how to take on these things. But practically also we should be, prepared. For example, now as our sister said, 9th and 10th at present, they are not equipped. So if we conduct these activities, what will happen? So even for them also, how we should do, we are going to tell that also, how we have to deal with them. Because it is not too late. Better late than never. Now, for example, now 9th class boys are there. When 9th class boys are there, you may have a question. They are already in 9th, and whether we should teach this dictionary or not for 9th children. What do you feel about it? 9th class, should we teach all this handwriting? Okay, take even handwriting or even dictionary usage. Should we teach them or not? What is your opinion? Can anyone come out with your feelings? Yes, correct. If you go still little more deeper into it, if I have to little bit explain that, it means, now for example, if at least they have 4 more years, 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th. And after 12th, now it is very clear that they are all going to join our institution. So all these children are bound to join our institution, majority of them, at least 90%. You leave about 10%, at least 90% of them will definitely join our institution. Therefore, when they come to degree, that they join the University of Human Excellence, they'll be at least equipped with something. They'll have something. So 4 years if we have to waste, or even if you take 10th class, or even 11th also is not too late to begin. They have 1 more year to have some knowledge of it. They'll have some knowledge of it. So what we have to do, we have to be practical also. What is that practicality? They have to face exam, 12th standard. They are facing exam, portions. They'll have, the portions for exam. So many lessons chalked out for English or in any subject for that matter. So what we have to do, for those people, simultaneously we have to take them. We have to give basics also. We have to give this also. We have to keep in mind the practical exam reality. So in our lesson plans, I will show you one model plan which we have made. One lesson plan, we have to make it in such a way that for those people, some days are reserved for question paper pattern. We are focusing only on question paper, on that year question paper. And a couple of days we are devoting to give them basics so that we are not cheating them also. See, tomorrow they'll tell you, they'll talk behind your back. What is that? We had 4 years. And see, nobody taught us dictionary, nobody taught us the real secret of learning English. That should not happen. So give both for such people. And anyhow, whoever is teaching right from beginning, 6th class now, you can lay the foundation, and that very class, if you continue, you can very effortlessly continue these activities, and with very good results, you can make them very good orators in future. When I say orators, it is not just for show off. It is really with some target, with some aim to conquer the world. India is to conquer the world. That is the aim of our institution. Ours is a missionary institution. Madhyal Narayan Bhattanna had created this institution with a mission and a vision. What is that mission? To preach Bharatiya culture to every nook and corner. And the situation is such that if you don't preach and expand, you're bound to die. Look at this, alarming thing. See, if you don't expand, you will die. You will die a natural death. Because expansion is life, contraction is death. If you don't teach others, if you don't, help others, you are going to die a very stagnant death. The country also got degenerated. Our country got degenerated into worst hypocrisy and diabolism. All Vamachara and of Buddhism and all those things, blah, blah, blah. It is all because of that. The moment we started thinking that we should not open our secrets to others, the Brahmins started thinking that they are the only people, custodians of these rituals and custodians. Nobody else should get into those secrets. Only they have got the right to liberation. All these narrow-minded ideas should go. In English also, we should leave those narrow-minded ideas. We should empower the students. Tomorrow we may be forgotten. Somebody else will take the baton. Tomorrow, so many of our youngsters are sitting here. Any one among them, they may get inspired by all this. They may take up seriously these things. They may put into practice. Tomorrow, we may be forgotten. But we should be happy that we have brought that. Swami has made us an instrument to just give us this truth. Give out this truth. Give out this truth and there ends. That is real selfless service as we see it. Therefore, let us not be impatient with small children and just give them exposures. All these activities, do it with an indifferent mind. Indifferent means here not with careless mind. Here indifferent mind means without any expectations. So do it with without any expectations. And needless to say, as you keep doing these activities, spoken language activities, as you keep talking in English, now tell me one thing. I have not used one word of Kannada, as madam was rightly telling. EGG example she was telling. Now, it gradually percolates into their minds. Now, tell me one thing. I have not used one word of Kannada. In this 1 week, over a period of time, has it not created one ambience of English? A kind of atmosphere? And even you, unconsciously, you are improving in your vocabulary by listening. Yesterday when you saw all that we see, it goes, nothing ever goes waste. Swami says, Nayana, his Telugu speech we should by heart. I had by hearted some of them when I was young. I was so crazy about Swami. Nothing is a waste in this world, he says in Telugu. Chaste Telugu, Swamis. So nothing can ever go waste. A thought, if anything comes to our mind, it will leave an indelible impression deep in our heart. That is called samskara. What is samskara? It is ready to sprout up again. That very thought, when suitable circumstances come, it is ready to come back again. That is called samskara. So any thought, anything that you listen, any action, any thought, it will not die down. It will be deep in our subconscious, ready to sprout up in favorable conditions. Therefore, we should keep doing it. Habits die hard, it is said. Just as bad habits die hard, good habits also die hard. Therefore, develop good habits. Develop these things. Therefore, it will never become waste over a period of time. And I told you two strategies you can choose for yourself. One is, you may have a habit of talking. You may feel that I will practice speaking, even if I go wrong, I will not feel bad. This is one. The second attitude is, I will listen, I will gather, I will become a dynamo of spirituality, acquire power in silence, and become a dynamo of spirituality. In time you can burst. Personally I was like that. I never opened my mouth. I was like simply one average kind of student in my class. I never opened my mouth. I was simply somewhere obscure person, oblivious of everything, sitting. And I was very short also. Now it's with great difficulty I have come to this height. With a lot of swimming, exercise and all this, doing this and that. And I was so small. In 10th class I was very short. So I was just, one kind of very timid and very shy and kind of person who was not given to talking at all. Then when I started reading all this at some point of time, I never imagined in my wildest dream that I would become teacher. At that moment, my reading was for the sake of becoming sannyasi or kind of something like that. I was into that passion. Vivekananda, spirituality. Our thought was renunciation. We never knew that, it will be utilized by somebody somewhere, something, in some other way. We never thought. And therefore, see, all that I had read became vocabulary, and it was in English language. That's why I said vehicle. Language is only the vehicle of ideas. And all that, at some point of time, what happened when I went to that school, I told you that I wanted to, for the sake of spirituality, I joined a primary school. There I started, one such meeting, I remember one teacher who had actually resigned from HAL. He was in a very top position, director of HAL. He had resigned that position and he had come to our school to improve English language of everybody. And I was in this primary school teacher, just teaching them alphabets, A, B, C, D, phonetics and all that. Phonetics, in fact, I had not learnt. Sorry, I forgot. Phonetics I had not learnt. I came here, I told you the circumstances where I learnt phonetics. So I just started teaching them. And then one fine day, this teacher was an expert in English. Even now he is there. He is little old now, but he is excellent. He was expert in English, PhD in engineering, and his English was marvelous. He told, let me improve the English of the school teachers. So he kept one meeting once in a week, and he made it mandatory for every teacher to speak. He made it mandatory for every teacher to come and speak. Because, for example, I had not heard Sister Lata at all. So beautifully sister talks. You cannot, I enjoy her talk so much. Now, see, the first day itself she spoke, that gave the introduction of that two scenario. How beautiful she put it, and intonation, modulations and all. So we don't know who is talking, and we don't know because opportunity is not there. The platform is not there. So I was like, I was into obscurity. And then that teacher, that person, he gave everyone and he pushed me on the stage. And then one day I just prepared some points about Vivek. I knew only Vivekananda, something which I had read. I was crazy about him. And I gave one day, I came to know that I was a speaker. So, and then of course it became a box office hit, and they called me and they said and all that. And from then onwards, my English actually journey started. So till 20, almost many years, I never opened my mouth. So how do you know that your children, if you become impatient, say they don't talk, what is this, they're not getting results, why should we do this, why should we do that? If you are so much worried about results, ours is to put the chemicals. Crystallization will come by itself. Let's remember this beautiful sentence. Ours is to put the chemicals. Karmanye vadikaraste. Ma phaleshu kadachana. And crystallization will come by itself. Leave it. Your duty is to just do and leave it. Give exposure. Even if it doesn't give tangible result, in his mind it is working. In course of time it will do. Tomorrow, after many years, they will call you. So many students, they call me and they tell, sir, your English is now helping me. At that moment, nobody told probably. I remember when I was teaching here, I was giving punishment, I was strict and all that. Nobody probably realized that value. Now they are calling me. After 15 years, 17 years. So it is like that. Everything has a time, dear brothers and sisters. I really request you from the bottom of my heart, don't lose faith in these principles of English teaching. These are the principles of English teaching. Most important to learn, understand. And listening and reading, they are the inputs. We have to bank upon it. Bank upon it. Depend on that. Do that more. Don't even worry about speaking. Output will come by itself. Success will be your slave. Where there is hard work, success must come. It is bound to come. Where will it go? We should not become impatient to talk. And that is why don't talk. Don't take chances. If you are confident, only come forward. Because when you don't talk properly, you may yourself feel guilty. Your own guilt will pull you down. So don't take chances unnecessarily. If you feel, keep gathering, keep listening, understanding. And when you practice, prepare if you want. Then you give presentations. Then what happens? There will be less number of mistakes and your self-confidence will gets boosted up. Whereas, okay, some boys are very brave. I have seen one or two teachers also in my own school, PT sirs and other teachers and all. They don't care for their mistakes. That is a great attitude. That is another strategy. You have to see your bent of mind. So having said all these things, now first I would like to do some revision for you. Let us do some words, phonetic words, and then we will move on to the cursive writing and other activities. And today and tomorrow we must finish the entirety of it. We want to give everything of it because we don't know. Now or never is the time. Tomorrow you may or may not come. And see, the same situation, place, circumstance may or may not be there. So I want to give everything that we have. and we have to give you common assessment pattern, common syllabus, lesson plan, year plan, everything that we have, we have to explain along with activities also. There cannot be any compromise in anything. So only we have time till today, tomorrow, and sister has given me the time to do till 1:15. But I'll leave you sharp at 1:15. I'll definitely leave you sharp at 1:15. The boys will be little concerned, so I'm very particular about time. Don't worry. Because I was like them, and I was a youngster once upon a time, I know what is hunger, and I will never make them wait. Let me continue this. So shall we do this? So I'll give you one word. First 5 words we'll do one by one, and then I'll give you 5 words. You can see our 6th class boys, some of them, they cannot lift this dictionary also. Probably their dictionary is more heavier than them, but they have started loving these dictionaries. And the very presence of dictionaries in this kind of dictionaries in the school increases the, the cultural level of the school. Oh, dictionary students. Nothing. You don't have to just have dictionaries and you do these things. Oh, very hi-fi, high-tech students. See? Oxford kind of students. How to pronounce this? Now, anyone should stand, and if you are confident, just learn this. You go to the word, write that, copy it from the dictionary. You practice it just in 1 minute, and then raise your hands. You pronounce it. Challenge. Ordinary pronunciation is challenge. But how do we really pronounce it? Go to that word, see the actual pronunciation, write it in your... Let me also write it on the board. Is the spelling correct? G-E? Challenge. How it is written in the dictionary for real pronunciation, if you want to know the real pronunciation. So this is, here this CH. Sometimes the CH will have different, this one. For example, CHOIR. Choir. CHORD. That is K pronunciation. Here this Ch. Therefore in dictionary, Ch is a different symbol. So what is given, it should be, I think, like this. If you have all, I'll just give you 2 minutes. You can do this. Once you learn it off, you can finish fast. Now Suma Madam is a first rank student now here. Because secret we have already learnt it. Isn't it, sister? We have already learned from last 1 year. We had separate meetings in our Gurukulam, and we have just implemented this. And sisters were they are so cooperative, and they liked it so much. They were teaching in their class these things. Okay. So, is it this? Just correct me if I am wrong. And sometimes I may also make mistakes deliberately. This is ch, correct? So, when we say challenge, first is ch, then a, cha, ch, a, cha. This is ch, then a. This is a, cha is over, cha. Now actually how I pronounce, you should actually, I pronounced English version, but now I'll start pronouncing only the way it should be pronounced, see in the dictionary. Challenge, challenge. So now here, where is the stress? Challenge. Where is the stress? First, exactly, in the beginning itself. So the stress is here, put a dash. Okay, before ch you put a dash. So ch and a, cha, lenge, lenge. It is not lenge or lenge, challenge. Inge also is okay. Challenge. So when we say, it becomes E also. So cha, l, E. Challenge, inge. Is it N or ing? No, it's N only. Challenge. N, ja. Again, ja is this, no? So, challenge. Is this correct? Correct nowadays? What is given in the dictionary is this only. So, how do you pronounce this? There is a upper dash. There is an upper dash here. And when we see this, this upper dash is in front of this ch, therefore ch should be stressed. Cha, you should say there little bit stressfully. And then other things normal. Challenge. Other things normal. Challenge. Don't challenge me. See how beautiful, how musical. Don't challenge me. Shut up. See? Okay. Yeah. Yeah, same thing. Exactly. This only. This looks like A and D. A looks like that. It's a combination of that. And now, so next word. Let me give you the next word. I'll pronounce capacity. 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 Where am I stressing? Capacity. Yeah. Capacity. I told you ITY words, one secret for ITY words, and everything you will remember. One secret. This is formulas will help our concepts. Teach the concepts, give the formulas also along with that. So ITY words. Third syllable from the last, isn't it? Third syllable from the last. There the stress should be. Beautiful, give him a big hand. I think correct. Perfectly correct, I think. See? It is k only, no? It is not K. It is not capacity. When we write it, we actually say it as capacity, but it is capacity. Correct, no? Have you verified from dictionary? It is capacity. So, capacity. So, third syllable, T, S, A, K. Kapa. So, pa, there should be the stress. Therefore, 1, 2, 3, pa, capacity. What about dexterity? Ambiguity. Where it should be? Try. Ambiguity. Try this word. ITY word. How will you pronounce it? Ambiguity. With stress. AMBGUITY. AMBGUITY. Ambiguity. GUITY. Ambiguous. What is the meaning of this word? Ambiguous is doubtful. You know, there is some kind of doubt, room for doubt there. Ambiguity. Anybody would like to write? Anyone, sister? Take chance. And try to pronounce the way it should be. Who would like to learn this? Ambiguity. Yeah? Yeah, come forward. Yeah. Ambiguity. Very good. So yes. Now, so where should be the stress? Okay. First, which is the third syllable from the right? So, what she has written is correct? Ambiguity. Gu. Okay. Here there should be J. Gu. G. G, Y, U, Gu. Correct, no? G, Y, and U, Gu. Gu, T. This is correct. So, T is one syllable. Gu, T, Gu, is another. And Gu is another. So, sister, you have to pronounce. Okay. So, now ambiguity. So IT by words. Come. So how will you pronounce with stress?
Ambiguity.
Correct. Perfectly. Give her a big hand, please. Perfect. Ambiguity. See, that is how it should be pronounced. Ambiguity. Right. Next word. Next word. Write down. I'll pronounce it the way it should be. You should write. Now shall I pronounce the word and you will write without seeing the dictionary, using the symbols. You know all the symbols. Now you can take the help of dictionary, no problem. Take the help of dictionary. Just try. Okay. Amazing. 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 I am stressing somewhere, you have to identify where I am stressing. Amazing. Yeah. Amazing. In fact, can be forgotten. I can start with may only. See? Amazing. Is very feeble. So you have to understand whether lower stress is there or not. The way I pronounce, you have to understand whether lower stress is there or not. Whether it is there or not. Amazing. 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 First one. That is the first one. Over. Second one I'll tell you. Small test. This is like 5 marks you can give for yourself. Next one. Assert. Assert your mastery over senses. Assert your mastery. Assert. Assert. Mahidhar brother knows this. He has studied in PUC all this and he is enjoying it. He is familiar with all this. Assert. Assert. It is actually very easy. Why it is very easy? The way we pronounce, that only you have to write. You don't have to worry about spellings. There is no spelling mistake here. It cannot happen. If you know the symbols well, no spelling mistakes can happen. Assert. Over? Okay, shall we go to the next word? Take this next word. Besiege. 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 I'll give simple words. Besiege. Besiege. Next one. Carpet. 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 Spread the carpet. Most often in India, when we say A, it will be E actually. In reality, it will be E. We are accustomed to pronounce it the way we write. Actually, it should be written the way we pronounce. It should be the other way. Carpet. Okay. Next one. Next one. Let me give you a word with lower stress also. Lower stress. Now you have to identify lower stress. Take this. comprehensive, 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 comprehensive. Here I can't say comprehensive. I can't say hensive. I can't swallow the word, the previous pronunciations. I have to say comprehensive. Try to listen to the pronunciation. See, listening is not as easy as it is done. As sister was telling the first day, writing, once they learn cursive writing, it becomes mechanical. It is easy. That's why sister said writing is the easiest. Correct now, sister? Once they learn it off, it becomes mechanical. It becomes easy for them to continue. Only till they learn it is difficult. But listening, to tune the mind to what is only being told, completely involved in that, it's very difficult. It's not easy. Listening is very difficult. In the olden days, there was something called Shabda Bhedi. Archery. In archery, there was something called Shabda Bhedi. It should be pronounced as Shabda Bhedi. It is not Shabda Bedhi. Bedhi means vomit. Generally, we say Shabda Bhedi. That means it's a vomit of words. But here it is Shabda Bhedi. You are going, you can pierce through. You have to just, by listening the sound only, even closing the eyes, you can shoot arrows and the arrows will go and strike the target. Maharana Pratap, Prithviraj Chauhan. In the end, how did he die? His eyes were plucked out by Muhammad Ghori, the tyrannical monarch of Mughals. And when he was actually, Prithviraj Chauhan had actually forgiven him. 17 times he plundered India, that Muhammad Ghori, and still he forgave him. And because every time he was falling at his feet. So Indians are magnanimous in heart. They say, okay, go, you are forgiven. But because of the betrayal of his father-in-law, who was very angry because Prithviraj Chauhan had married his daughter forcibly, because he had not called him for that Swayamvara, he came, dashed into that kingdom and he took her away by force. Because that was allowed by Kshatriyas. The Kshatriyas could do that. You can't afford to insult somebody like that. You have to call everyone. That's what he got insulted and he said, I'll show my might. And after some time, this father-in-law, he nursed a grudge against that. He nurtured a grudge against that Prithviraj Chauhan silently. And we all know that the external enemy is nothing compared to the internal enemy. Our own betrayers. Greatest problem. Tipu Sultan also died like that. Everybody in India, the Swami Vivekananda was very outspoken. In India, he used to blast Indians, but he used to praise Indians in front of the others. In America, he used to applaud Indians like anything. He said, always behind the back, we should praise. In front of the person, criticize. Be outspoken, be straightforward, be frank. So Swami Vivekananda used to do that. And he used to say, Indians, 4 people can't come in India together and form an organization. They don't rule properly and they don't allow others to rule properly. The blastings of Vivekananda, if you see, we'll start shedding tears like that he used to blast, perspire. And his scoldings was such that the words that he used to use, once in an American assembly, he was teaching, somebody, they stopped him and said, some American or somebody, they stopped him and said, Swamiji, you Indians are heathens, beggars, and all that he started telling. Then the Swamiji became furious. He said, he started quoting history. He was an expert in history. He was a degree holder in history. He started quoting history. What is the history of America? What is the history of Europe? And that person started, the way he started telling, we Our civilization is much more before you. You are nothing. You are toddlers in compared to us. Then he quoted everything, dhada, dhada, dhada. That fellow, savage. He started crying. This is a recorded fact. That was Swami Vivekananda. Oh, man among men, the Hindu monk of India, who gave prestige to India, because of whom we could hold our head high. Otherwise, earlier we didn't have any face in the world opinion. Indians means they thought that we are beggars. That's all. They thought we will fight like that. Simply, that's how it was construed. Indians were like that. Britishers and all, they considered Indians to be I'm taking this liberty because our Krishna sir is now more Indian than anybody. And I know him pretty well. And his heart is, because we have geniuses born in every country. Who is that? Max Muller, who said, Max Muller, India is the solace, Murtyana will be quoting him. Max Muller, he told, Vivekananda met Max Muller in Germany, and he said, they are Vasishtha and Arundhati reborn. And then he said, great people are reborn in all countries. So some people, Swami, they choose. They are born in all countries for some purpose. See, Isaac Tigret now, he is in America. Now he is not seen here at all. Swami has given him mission in America. And he has to preach there and make it spiritual. Swami's mission is there. So all those are great people. Isaac Tigret and all, 100%, they are born for a mission. Otherwise, what thing, if you just, 17 years he has waited to just give his donation. His Swami has not talked to him. 17 years after he said, wait. After 17 years, he took his, request. And he could give some money for that super speciality hospital, about 300 crores. In those days, 300 crores. So it's very like that. Anyway, coming back to this. What was the last word? Comprehensive. Comprehensive. Who would like to write? Anybody would like to write? Anybody would like to write? Your confidence boosts up if you write correctly. And at the same time, if you don't write correctly, you should be able to take it sportively. No problem. Anybody would like to try? Anyone? This side? Last time sister, this time brother. Yeah, come, Praveen. Very nice. I like coming forward nature. In our school also class, sir, there are some boys who are coming forward boys. Some like little coaxing, goading. Some will be like, like this. Little, they'll be doing like this. Sir. Like. Some will be, sir, for everything they'll be telling you. That is very enterprising nature. Yes. You can rub it and you can take more space. Very good. Yes, correct. Comprehensive. That's right. Perfect. And pronounce it.
Comprehensive.
Beautiful. Perfect pronunciation. Give them a big hand. Comprehensive. So, children will learn this very easily. If you do it perfectly, they'll understand the concept very easily. They understand. I'll show you the videos of some 4 or 5 boys. How they teach like this, how they teach. I have taken video. They come, they teach the syllables, then they pronounce correctly. I have taken video of 4 or 5 boys. I'll just show you afterwards. And this is not O, complete O. Only thing is Praveen. So this is something like, it is like this. This should be there. It must be a little bigger this. So, compre. Okay. Okay. Next one. So, shall I now give 5 words? I'll give 5 words. You can do it yourself. Now, at a time I'll give. Now, can we just try without dictionary's help? I will pronounce slowly, properly. Listen to my pronunciation and write. Oh, no problem. This is if you want, you take the help of dictionary. Like that only is for children also, we should say. Give option. Don't make it totally strict. But just motivate them to do in a kind of, just motivate them. Try if you want, without seeing. Let us see. That way we should, make them. Otherwise, if you make it mandatory, again that fear will come. At no point of time, it should be fear instilled. It should be non-threatening atmosphere. It should be in a non-threatening atmosphere. Learning should happen in a non-threatening atmosphere. I repeat this many times. No point of time fear should be instilled in the students. Yeah, very amicable, friendly. Yeah. Now, next, come on, right. First one. Kotia. 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 Carefully listen. Kotia. 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 Next one. Over. So first what we should do for children also, we have to give simple words to boost their confidence. We have to give simple words. We should not give tough ones. First keep giving simple words, then gradually big words, gradually like that. Next one. Deception. 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 Sometimes, shin, there is no actually. Shin. Shin. It's continuous. Deception. Next one. Dominion. 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 Don't relate it to the Indian word. How I am pronouncing, just write that. Dominion. 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 How many words over? Last two words. And then we'll go to the next activity. Last two words. Exemplary. Exemplary. As you are keen in listening, you'll try to understand even if I swallow some words. Exemplary. So the first syllable, if I swallow also, you don't require it. In the beginning, it may be required for me to pronounce it, audibly, very clearly. Exemplary. Exemplary. He's an exemplary in this. Exemplary. Next one. Last one. The last one. A little bigger. Ideology. 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 Yeah. Ideology. That's correct. Because actually, children should see the pronunciation. Ideology. 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 Which is having lower stress, which is having upper stress. Identify. Ideology. When I say exemplary, when I said exemplary, some syllables, whether it has lower stress or not, you have to find out. But when I say ideology, is there any lower stress? Is there any upper stress? You have to find out. Ideology. Okay, so quickly I'll write off this. First one, check yourselves and give 5 marks and tell me your marks. Yes, first one. What was the first one? Huh? Quote here. See? Ka, o, ko. Stress should be first. Quote here. T. Is it small? It quote here. Is it correct? This one, is it small or little bigger I? Quote here is small only. This is small. So this is small, this is little big, and this is biggest E. E it is. This is E, E, E. So here we have courtier. Courtier. Actually it is C-O-U-R-T-I-E-R. Courtiers of the, in the court. Courtiers. Courtier. Next word. What is the next word? Deception. D-E. Deception. So where is the stress? Stress is where? Seption. So here, se, sa, e, p, sep, shin. So shun here, need not be required. Shin. Deception. Shin. There is no at all in between. Therefore, shin. Sh and na. Deception. Beautiful. See, a sister is telling, yes, correct, I have written correctly. That means that reinforcement comes. Deception. Okay. Just give 1 mark for, and don't worry about, say for example, suppose you have written a here. In case you have written a here, don't cut marks. That doesn't make much difference. If you have written deception, instead of sure, if you have written cha, then you cut marks. That's a bigger mistake. Like shun, when this shun is there, if you have written a, small a, it doesn't make much difference. Deception, shun, okay, that's all right. But whereas the pronunciation itself changes, there you cut marks. That's important. So for example, if you say here D, instead of D, you have written T. Deception. Then it is wrong only, no? Say, I am pronouncing D. Or if you have written here, sen, as I told you, deception. You have written ja for shun. It becomes deception. Then it is wrong. Or if you have written here na, instead of na, if you have written ng, deception, then it is wrong. So symbols should be correct symbols. The pronunciation should not change. Small things like that you need not cut marks, which doesn't change the pronunciation. And stress also should be correct. Now for example, if you have stress, by mistake if you have written stress here, say here, shun, and you have not written it. I am pronouncing deception, but you have written stress there. What happens here? How do we pronounce this? Deception. Deception it becomes. Wrong. So therefore, deception. Next one is, what is the next one? Huh? Dominion. Da, ma, e, na, ya. Ya, na. Dominion. Ma. Upper stress here. Is it correct? Dominion. Is it correct what I have written? Krishna sir? Right. So if you see the word in dictionary, it will be this. Dominion. Now once you know the symbol, how am I writing without seeing or checking? Because I know the pronunciation and I know the symbols. I know the stress, concept of stress. So I am able to write. So that's all. It comes to you very easily. Actually, phonetic is very interesting and very easy. 6th class boys will learn very fast. So first it is better to begin with handwriting because this can be learned fast. Handwriting takes more time in the beginning. Later, once they learn, it is just writing every day 2 pages. So please begin with handwriting and spend more time, and I did like that because it was very difficult to teach handwriting later. It will not pick up later. Tender age, catch them. Start handwriting. This anyone can learn because it's so interesting to pronounce. Even bigger children can learn this. See, all our boys, our brothers, they learn very fast. Tak they have learned and they have written so well. So this is easier. Begin with handwriting. So anyway, next one. Last one? This last? One more is there. Exemplary, I'm writing here. See, wherever exemplary, most of the words will be E only. Actual pronunciation will be E. It's a, you can guess it. You can guess it. Exemplary. So, Z and above that Z. Exemplary. M, P, L, A, R, E. Exemplary. Is it correct? What I have written is correct? Exemplary. Is it right? Anyone can check with the dictionary and tell? Who can tell for me? Correct, no? Yes, exemplary. Last word I'll write now. What's the last word? Tell me. Ideology. See this one. See this one. Bigger A, not small. It is not ID. It is not ideology. ID. So, and I am pronouncing it clearly. That means what? Immediately when it is audible, you should put a lower stress. Oh, it is audible. ID. I said ID. Correct, no? It's clearly heard. Therefore, lower stress. Ideology. Put a upper stress now. Ology. So, O is heard here. So, O is what? This syllable. O, L, ideology. J is this. L, J, E. Ideology. That's all. Simple. Very, very interesting. Okay. So, I'll just give one homework you can do later. Just copy down today's homework. Like how we give children, like that only you should teach children also, same way. So 5 words homework I'll give you. Just take down the words and you can do later. Little bit difficult can I give? Little bit difficult words I'll give. So that it will become good practice. Just write down the homework words. Intelligent. Homework words. I'll just tell in Indian pronunciation. Intelligent. Next one. Linguist. 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 Next one. Memorable. Next one. Orphanage. Next one. Preservative. 5 over? 5 over. This is homework. You can just do, and tomorrow we'll just quick revision we'll do tomorrow. So now we'll go back to 1 or 2 activities and then we have to finish the cursive writing today. Yes? Tell me. Sorry? What is that? Which one? You got it? Now you got it? Okay. Preservative. Generally, words beginning with E, for example, engine, you should not say engine. Engineer. We should say engine. But most of the words we don't know. See, we just Indians know, we have taken to this conventional way of engineer. We say it is engineering. Most of the words. Some exceptions are always there. We'll see in Sanskrit, the big difference between Sanskrit and English, I'll tell you. The big difference between English and Sanskrit. Sanskrit has perfect rules. You cannot do like this. Perfect rules. Everywhere you have to follow rules. Okay, everywhere. For example, wherever Visarga comes, masculine words. Saha, Rameshaha, Kupitaha. So wherever, all this aha comes, it is masculine. Wherever a comes, it is feminine. Lata or Uma. Like that, where Prithvi. Ikara. Ikara comes. So it's all feminine. You can't change it. Change the word. Whereas in English, lot of exceptions. Every now and then. You write PUT put, BUT but. There itself there will be so many exceptions. So English, so to say, if I just take liberty with, it's an unruly language. But mellifluous, fantastic, musical, beautiful language. I love this language. Yeah. So God's creation, it's like that. It's like that. There's no rules, but it is yet. See, it is dominating the entire world. It is the international language today. And if you learn it, how beautiful, how much you can enjoy it. You have to just learn it, accept it. Don't ask for questions. You have to just accept it. That's the thing. That's the way we should do it. So, English, we have to learn. Today, in today's world, if you don't learn English, there is no respect. There is no respect. In fact, you may be a Sanskrit teacher. Even if you are a Sanskrit teacher, you'll have to teach Sanskrit through either Sanskrit or English only. If you are a mathematics professor, I remember how our class used to get restless when I was studying my Bata Shoe Company, that means, BSc. BSc, I just call it Bata Shoe Company. When we were doing BSc, however, our teachers used to become restless. Our students would become restless with teachers. Sorry, teachers were not becoming restless. And they were, because their English was not, very up to the mark. They were pronouncing wrongly. And so we used to become restless. We never cared for. Any teacher who doesn't speak English well, it may be social studies, generally, what we feel is, what is this? We don't have interest. Whereas anyone who speaks English well, immediately, very nice. That is the power of English today. And you should see Swami Vivekananda, how he has praised the Englishmen, how he has praised. He says they are Kshatriyas. Those people are Kshatriyas. Tremendous Rajasic blood is there in them. They are tremendous, adventurous people. They are heroic. How they conquered big countries all over the world. See, that is the history of English that we know, and we have to emulate all the good in everybody. And only when the East and the West meets, Eastern culture, Western science and technology and language, then only the world will become a better world. All right. Now coming to some activities. Yesterday we had given some homework. Anyone is prepared with that? Poem, Lord Allen's Daughter. Anyone is prepared? Anyone is prepared with the role play? Can anyone come forward and do two people same way? With intonation modulation. Anyone would like to do? Anyone would like to do? Role play. Shall we have it for just 2 minutes? Mike. Sir is ready. Inspector and the person, the owner of the house. Yes. And I request youngsters to come forward. Grab the opportunity. Please grab the opportunity. First preference will be given for you. Young sisters and brothers. Intern sisters and brothers. First opportunity. First priority. Please grab the opportunity. Okay.
Okay, Inspector.
All of you listen. This is one more very beautiful thing. 1 second. This is a very this is a very important thing that in any classroom, when they are presenting, all should listen to them. This is a very important thing to be understood. Say in children, for example, 2 people are presenting. Others have to present, no doubt. But unless you all hear, they will also not, So you'll all have to hear the others. So this is a very important thing to be kept in mind. Yes. Exchange this only. Hello, ma'am. Grab the opportunity, otherwise opportunity will go. Keep going. Youngsters, I'm telling again. Hello, ma'am. I am Inspector Man Singh. I am in charge of the Balgari case which occurred in the flat of your employer.
Mr. Ravikant, it must have been a harrowing experience for you.
Yes, it was a terrible experience. People like that should be locked up or at least retrained with a lot of love.
If you will cooperate with us, we will catch them in no time. Were you alone in the apartment at the time?
Yes, it was 11:30 in the night. And I was alone. My master and his wife had left for Shimla.
How do you think the Balga again entered into the house?
Well, he might have come through the balcony and then entered into my room.
Now tell me something about his physique. What about his build? How tall was he?
He was about 6 feet tall.
What about his physique?
Well, he was not thin. He was well built and rather plump.
What about his dress? What was he wearing?
I think his clothes were rather old and faded. He was wearing a black shirt, which was faded.
Do you remember the color of his trousers?
Well, they were a dark shade, either blue or black.
Can you tell me something about his face?
Unfortunately, no. When he entered my room, I panicked. But then I gathered a little courage and I screamed, "Ah!" and I tried to run away. But I was a little late. This man struck me with a staff and knocked me out. I really don't remember anything after that. Later on, I came to know that he broke into the bedroom and stole all the jewelry. But Ram Singh, the watchman outside, he tried to catch him. He may be able to describe him better.
Okay. Lakshmi, thank you. If I need your help, I will come again. You may have to identify the vulgar. Now I will speak to Ram Singh. Ram Singh, you were on duty and you tried to catch the burglar. You may be able to give a good description of him. First tell me about his hair.
He had black hair, straight black hair.
What about the shape of his face and his complexion?
He had an oval face with gray eyes, and I think he was dark complexioned.
Did he wear spectacles?
Yes, with a plastic frame, and the nose was rather sharp.
What else can you remember about him? What about his teeth and lips?
Well, his lips were quite thick.
Is there anything else that you remember about him?
When I heard the noise from inside, I ran in. I tried to stop the burglar, and we had a scuffle. We had a fight. During the struggle, I noticed that he had 6 fingers on his right hand. Wow, 6 fingers. But he managed to run away, and he made good his escape on a motorbike.
Thank you, Ram Singh. We will make sketches on the basis of your description and of him.
Nabham. Very good, sir. Thank you, Inspector.
Beautiful, fantastic presentation. Give them a big hand, please. Give them a big hand. And fantastic pronunciation, original English. I just enjoyed both sirs also and Krishna sir. Krishna sir was so very beautiful. I tell you, it was musical to hear. Didn't we enjoy? So anyway, ours is in Indian, ours and mine and sirs, we are the same. But this is the original English, perfect English. Okay, please come forward. And now are coming the lion cubs. Yes, moving forward majestically. and occupying the central arena. I forgot your names, Manoj and Sriniket. Over to them. Come. You can, in fact, do some acting. See, for example, you can do some acting also, mono acting. Now, I would like actually one person only to change and modulate his voice. Can you do like that? One person modulate his voice? Okay, two people, that's simpler. First, you. I'll show you how next, after doing this, next chance. Come. Do some acting.
Oh wow, this is beautiful.
Good afternoon. May I help you?
Yes, please. Do you have any science educational series?
Yes. For which class do you want?
Any, as I need it for my project work.
Here they are. You can choose from this.
Oh wow, there are a lot. I can't make up my mind actually. How much does this cost?
It costs rupees 99.
Please pack it for me. You have any project books as well?
What type? Do you mean science projects?
Not exactly. We use projects as our classwork.
Not exactly. Oh, sorry. Not at this moment, but you can check next week.
Please get it for me.
Surely.
Thank you so much. Pack this for me, please.
Very nice. Very good intonation, modulations. Very nice. Beautiful. Next. Come. You're ready with something. Come. And sisters take chance. Grab the opportunity. I'm telling you. Just come forward and say, I will do it. Otherwise, well, that opportunity lost is once, Anybody? First, sisters will give first. One second, you sit down here. Yeah, please come forward. Platform is this opportunity to not lose this chance. You can do some acting also.
Where's your lunchbox, Sakshi? I have to wash it.
In the bag.
Sakshi, why haven't you finished your lunch?
Mom, I had samosa from the school canteen.
But it is wastage of food.
I'm sorry, Mom. I can't stuff double the food in my belly.
That's obvious, but every grain is precious, Sakshi. You could have told me in the morning.
In fact, I had no such plan. But Chaya got it for me. I shall take care it in future.
That's good. I feel so bad when people waste food.
I got it, Mom.
Good, that's like my sweet girl.
Amrut and his friend, Siddharam brother.
Hi, how are you?
Hey, Amrut, how about you? Fine, how about you?
Me too. Have you completed your maths notebook?
Yes, of course.
Can you help me with your notebook for a day or two?
What for?
Some of my homework is pending.
Sorry man, I can't give it to you for 2 days as I have to prepare my test.
But I must complete my homework.
No, I must get my parents' permission. I always keep them informed.
Are you scared of a scold?
No. I'm not afraid. Helping a classmate is a nice thing to do.
Well, give me for a day.
Fine, take it.
Thank you very much.
It's all right.
Very nice, excellent role play. Good intonations, very good intonations. Anybody else would like to come forward? Anyone, if you have prepared something, come. Please come, sister. Okay. All right, next.
pranams at the Lord's lotus feet of our beloved Swami. Sports and games. Sports and games.
Okay.
A and B.
One second, if you don't mind, because looking into the time management, sister, what you had to prepare? What were you to display? Can we keep this for some other time? I'll just have the time management and tell you when we could. Only one paragraph. Okay then. Okay.
Sairam to all. We welcome you to the annual athletic meet of Sri Sarvaniketanam School from Shumaga campus. Our chief guest today is Mr. Ananta Krishnamurthy, the eminent sportsman of our town. Mr. Anantamurthy, not only a keen sportsman himself, but he is also mastery of English, Sanskrit, French, etc. Welcome to Anant Krishnamurthy, sir. First, I reminder about the events that have already been decided before today. The tally of points already decided is Shanti and Dharma houses 180 points each, Prema house 170 points and Sathya house 155 points.
Sairam, all of you. We'll begin today's program with an impressive march past by senior boys and girls. It's important, of course, of each house to do its best in march past because there are bonus points for winners. The four houses are now marching past by the announcer's box. In their smart blue and white uniforms, the judges are going to find out extremely hard to decide.
While we wait for the march past decision, I can see the finalist for the boys 800 meter race getting ready. There goes the gun. All eyes are on Daksha of Shanti House, the school star athlete. They are halfway now, and it looks as if we could be in for a shock result. Daksha is a second with Martin of Dharma House in the lead. What a surprise! They are now in the last 100 meter. Daksha is making a supreme effort and is now neck to neck with Martin. Only 20 meters to go, and yes, Daksha passes Martin right on the line. Daksha wins. Then for Shanti House, Martin of Dharma House is second, and the Prema House runner is third. First, Shanti House, second, Dharma House, third, Prema. What an exciting race!
Meanwhile, the result of the march past has just been announced, and the winners is the Tagore House.
Thank you, one and all.
Sisters have done it very well. Commentary, I tell you, it was very, the tempo was increasing. That's how it should be. And the excitement, and as they're on the way, and there he leaps down, and there he goes. So you have to raise the tempo like that, and then only, see, that is a very good strategy. In sports commentary, you should be, very exciting. That makes it very enjoyable. Fantastic delivery, both of them. I really give them a lot of accolades. Anybody else now? Prepared? Yeah, come. What are you? One sister wanted to do something. Once, let us finish. Yeah, please come. Alone you want to do? Okay, please come. After that, come forward. Sit here.
Sairam, it's a conversation between two friends. So, Abhishek and Yaman. Abhishek. Hey Yaman, how are you, dude? I'm cool. How about you? Me too. Hey, just tell me, what grade did you get in your exam? I got A1. That's great, dude. Here I must say, it's just because of your hard work. Thank you, buddy. Okay, You must be studying hours and hours. No, it's not like that. But success has a price. Means I just complete my work on time and never keep my work on hold. Secondly, I keep same speed of work throughout the year. I see. Congratulations. Thank you.
Very nice. Very, very nice. Come, please come. 2 more lion cubs striding forward. Avidya Sagar and Manu occupy the stage. Same conversation. Okay. Same conversation of 2 people. See, one thing that teachers can, you can win their heart. I tell you, students, you can just win their heart by doing this modulation of voice. For example, if it is an inspector, hello Ram Singh, how are you? And if you are a servant, okay sir, I am fine. If it's a child, like speaking like a child, if it's a lady, speak like a, they'll enjoy. They'll just enjoy. Somehow you have to try. You can do it. You may feel shy, but make your voice thick. Do something at least. So modulation of voice for English teachers, very important. The drama, that playing of drama. Yeah, let's see how they.
Hi Manu, how are you, dude? I'm cool. How about you? Me too. Just tell me what grade did you got in your exam? I got A1. That great, dude. Here you must say it's just because of your hard work. Thank you, buddy. Okay, you must be studying hours and hours. Not like that, but success has a prize. Means I just complete my work on time and never keep my work on hold. Secondly, I keep same speed work on throughout the year. I see. Congratulations. Thank you.
Very nice. Very beautiful. Very nice. Very nice. All right, that's some fantastic. So brave, bravery. It requires a lot of courage to come forward and stand into. So as I told you already, you have to keep on encouraging in the class. As I told you, see, everyone may not come up to your expectations, but they'll do their best. So it's very important to keep encouraging them, because from their point of view, they have done their best. See, if you want to judge others, you can't judge others from your point of view. If you have to judge an apple tree, can you judge it from an oak tree point of view? If you have to judge mango, can you judge from the point of view of lemon tree? You cannot. You have to judge from that point of view. See, where he stands or she stands, how best he has done, that's how we should encourage them. Very nice. See, we have to understand from their point of view. So this is another very important thing to be remembered. So for example, when in any class, students come and perform, they may not do according to us very well. See, for example, we may have some other standard. Okay, we may be doing in some other level. But you can't discourage them saying that, you have not come up to. You have to understand how best efforts they have put in that condition, and you have to encourage them from their point of view. This is very, 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 very important thing to be remembered. That's how you keep on. And how do you correct them? This is another very important thing I would like to tell you. In any role play or any spoken language activity, speech or anything, how do you correct them? Never show them the. For example, one boy is reading the story. Suppose loud reading. He is reading the story. How do you correct him? He does some pronunciation mistakes. Like yesterday we saw, Food today. Food today. The last word was, icing on the cake. Seat up. Up means he went down. Seat up. And that was simply fantastic. So when we commit any mistakes also, we should not tell them it's wrong. Stop. No, it's not like that. Read like this. That is a very dangerous effect on children. I tell you, brothers and sisters, never in your life do this. Take it from me. Never in your life do that. Suppose you are teaching reading skills, okay, and you have given two children chances to read. Never tell them it is wrong openly. Then how do you teach them? The question may arise. If I don't correct them, how will they learn? The way to teach them is, when you are reading, you read the best. You read, you give exposure. You demonstrate. You really prove it in front of them. See, it keeps going into their mind unconsciously. And over a period of time, they do better and better. But don't tell them they are bad. Don't tell them it is not correct. It's not coming up to the mark. Who is perfect after all? Even we are not perfect. There may be still more better, delivery. So nobody is perfect except God. Therefore, who are we to discourage? How can we discourage anybody at all? They are doing the level. So recognize the effort, but that is one very important thing. For example, if somebody has not put full effort, then you have to point out. No, you have to put more effort. So it's very important for a teacher to recognize when to tell them something, when not to tell them something. You have to very carefully find out whether the students are putting effort or not. Suppose somebody is escaping from putting effort, then you have to tell, this is not good, not up to the mark. Then immediately you'll understand, oh, I have not put effort and see, teacher is not happy. But suppose somebody has done his level best, and from your point of view, it is not up to the mark. Then what you should do? You should praise them. Correct what I'm telling, sister brothers? So this is a very important difference, you have to keep it in mind. See, somebody, even if he is good also, suppose he is so-called good, he has not put effort, okay, and suppose his level is 95, but he has scored only 80. You should be very strict with the intelligent ones. You should not praise them. I expected better from you. You know, once when I translated Sanskrit speech, okay, Swami suddenly told me, you know, it was out of the blue, said, translate the Sanskrit speech in Premamritam. I was like, you know, and 15 years I was out of touch with Sanskrit. Not a word I have read. I mean, before that I used to read Chandamama, and I had this Sanskrit in my in my heart. I knew Sanskrit how to read, and I'm fond of shlokas and all that, no doubt. But to translate, it is not, that too in front of Premamritam. Swami told, sent word. And I said, yes. That Swamiji was waiting there. I went to Swamiji. At first they told me Hindi, actually. They told me Hindi. When I asked that Swamiji said, I am going to speak in perfect godly language, Sanskrit. I said, what? No. Shit. I said, Swamiji, don't do this for me. So all of a sudden you give me a shock, last moment. Then he said, nothing doing, I have taken a vow. I will not speak in any other language at all. I'm done for. Then I said, what should I do? Should I tell her now? Now I cannot back out. If I back out, I'll be like a coward. So I said, whatever may happen, let me go forth. So I said, Swamiji, you just start your speech now. I'll write everything. I'll try to do it. Then he started his speech. Lo and behold, by Swami's grace, I'm able to understand everything. Because I prayed to Swami. Swami, please save me, Swami. Take care of me now. See, that was the thing which before I started that. Swami took care. And then I started understanding everything. Okay, I wrote everything down. Next day I was there near Premamritam, hands shivering. Then I sent a message to Madhu Anna. Swami, my heart is beating, Swami. I'm getting nervous and it's a long time, Sanskrit speech. Please save me, Swami. Like, the Swami sent a message. Speak matching your tone to that of the speaker. Okay? And then I was standing near the totally shivering, like, because Premamritam itself, that stage, if you stand there, automatically you will start shivering. And then in front of those audience, you know, distinguished audience. And then then Swami came. Then I became like a fluttering butterfly then actually. Swami came and sat down. Then I went and touched the feet of Swami. Swami immediately told one thing, touch Swamiji's feet. Touch Swamiji's feet also, he said. I like a fool and Petisky, I touched his feet only again. Then he said, oh, muddle-headed fellow, touch Swamiji's feet. I said, yes, Swami. Then I went to Swamiji and I touched Swamiji's feet. Lo and behold, brothers and sisters, miracle happened. I'm not, Swami is here. I don't want to simply exaggerate or flatter you all. So I just went, and when I touched Swamiji's feet, Hanuman's courage came to me. I don't know what. I became like Hanuman. And I went and stood near the podium. I tell you, all that shivering vanished. I was like, you know, cool. And I said, I looked at Swamiji. Swamiji started. And lo and behold, Swamiji completely changed the plate. Nothing of what he spoke the previous day, nothing there. Totally changed the story. Every word different, every letter different. But I'm able to understand. I started writing quickly whatever he was telling in no time. And immediately I was translating what Swami, match your tone to that of the speaker. I thought I should burst like Vivekananda. But Swamiji was little, low, mediocre voice. So I also was little low. Then it came out extreme. Not one mistake, dear brothers and sisters. Can you see? I'll tell you, I'll take it from my example, with Swami's grace, see commentaries that we have given, can you believe Swami has seen that no flaw can come? Otherwise, what an insult in front of thousands of people. 8 years Swami has given, 6 years Swami has given commentary chance for us. Once he called us in Premamritam. He called us there and he said, Hey, he told me, looked at me and said, hey, idiot fellow, you are telling all negative words, death, killing, and all these words in front of the thousands of audience. Don't use negative words. Swami cautioned me. I said, yes, Swami, yes, Swami. But final delivery was always, Swami saw to it that we never made mistakes. That was Swami's grace. See, how it can happen without Swami's grace? How can it happen? Tell me. Something happens, suppose, for example, you get loose motion, or you get fever, or anything. See, anything could have happened. 6 years, 7 years, continuously. See, that is Swami's grace. That is not of our making. Anything could have happened. I could have lost my throat pain, everything. Once what happened, soon after the sports meet, I started getting throat pain. And I went and slept off about 4 or 5 hours after the sports meet. Immediately after sports meet. Until the sports meet, my throat was perfect. I am shouting. And after the sports meet, I just go and sleep. Swami is protecting us like eyelids protecting the eyes. He will protect you. Therefore, how do we encourage? We should always encourage the children from their point of view. That is very, very important. Now, one role play, I have a role play here, which is again, this is a very important thing to do. This I'll distribute to you, and then we'll have a break if time is 10 o'clock, and then we'll continue with cursive writing. Yes, another 10 minutes, 10, 15 minutes. So now, I'll just do this. See, once again, I want to show you, even if you're not good in style, don't compromise with intonations. Secret, I'm telling you. Your style may be Bihari style. Your style may be any other style. Don't compromise with, see, sir did so well now. Perfect, but accent see, all of us have accent, Bihari accent. I had a teacher who, I don't know which state, but all that is natural for us, we Indians. There's nothing wrong in it. See, she used to tell people, I remember, people, she used to say. But her English was flawless. Grammatical accuracy was there. People. See, why we make mistakes in Bihar? For example, people from Bihar, they cannot pronounce generally the word sh. You say S-U-R-E, sure, they'll say sewer. It is such a, and why? Because from the beginning, they have not learned this, that's all. So, sh. So if you learn these phonetic symbols, if you learn all that, and you twist your tongue in any direction, sh, ch, everything, then you are bound to pronounce properly. Because they are not accustomed to it, they make it. And meaning becomes different. And we used to enjoy, so many Bihari boys were there in Vidya Kendra, wherever such things, sewer. And everybody used to give a peal of laughter under their sleeves. Alright, so I'll just read this. See how best you can do lot of intonations. But don't be in a hurry to complete it. You have come to give lot of entertainment. We need not be in a hurry. See, for example, father and son is speaking. Prince, this is your study time, right? Yes, Dad. Why are you watching TV then? Go and get to work. I didn't get any homework today. I'm free. No homework? So what? You're a grown-up child. You need not always depend on teacher-assigned work only. But Dad, all my written and learning sessions are done. But you should learn to manage time and studies. You must avail your free time in doing extra practice. Practice what? Maths drills, English, social science, there's a lot to do. If you do not have daily homework, then practice the subjects. Then the child understands that he cannot fool father. Okay, Dad, I got you. Can I watch this program for the moment? Yes, you can, but remember, no homework doesn't mean no work. See? So that intonations, that's all that is very important. So I'll just give you this. One more last backside, there's one more role play. Hi, Neeraj. Hi. What's going on in the class? I heard something about Praveen. Not our Praveen, brother. It is given here. What happened? Don't you know? No, actually I haven't been coming since last 2 days. Okay. Praveen fought with Rajat and Deepender in the class again. Then Rajat complained to the class teacher. The teacher settled the issue and warned Praveen. Is that all? After dispersal, Praveen caught Rajat outside the school and started fighting. Both got blues and scratches on bodies. Some senior students separated them. I see. This is scaring. Yes, he has taken the whole class for a ride. Other day, he snatched the lunch of a fellow student and finished it. Nobody spoke. He's a bully, yeah? Let's inform principal about this. My mother said I should not involve in such things. I don't think so. You talk to auntie again. We should discourage bullies. You got the tone? Did you get the tone, sisters and brothers? So this tone, the children need this. Why I'm telling this more and more? Children need that tone. They get inspired by only that. How conversations happen. Real life situations. Marketplace, here, classroom and examination. Real life situations. Show them how actually conversations take place. With real intonations, modulations. Then only they get inspired. Anyone can distribute? Just quick, because in 2-3 minutes this can be done. So why we waste 2-3 minutes? In 2-3 minutes we can do this. Tuck, 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 you can find one cross. Your word vocabulary building will improve. Building vocabulary. Just keep doing and keep going for a break. No problem. In 2-3 minutes you can finish and keep going for break. Informally. Half you can give this side. Half you can give this side. Yeah. Only this much left, huh? Only, he is already distributing. Okay. Then I'll give it backside. So last one, you can do this word puzzle and go for break. Word building is very important for building up vocabulary. And this is a very brain teasing question. It's very, very, very challenging for children. They love this. As much as possible, we have to keep giving this activity. Now and then, we have to keep giving. Fast, man. Oh. Those are finished, can keep going for break. So there's a, here confirmation comes there only. We don't have to, you can come to know that. Great. Those who finish can keep going for break. Very good. So these are the rank holders, I think. Those who finish early, I'm just saying, it's not to discourage others or anybody. Those who finish fast. Very good. You can keep going for, and please come back in just tests. So I'll just read this article in just 2 minutes, what Swami has sent. Why make examinations larger than life events? See, this is exactly what we are discussing. Swami knows everything. So too much of tests, formal tests and examinations will instill fear. We should do without all that first. Examination, okay, some kind of assessment is required, but not, that should not become the cynosure of all, That should not steal the show. So I'll just read this, what Swami has said. It is commonplace to experience anxious thoughts, negative emotions, obsessive rituals, sleepless nights, and butterflies in the stomach during examination time. Moderate levels of stress motivate us to work hard, overcome our limitations, and give our best performance. However, when we are overtly distressed, our worries can make us dysfunctional at the physical, emotional, and behavioral levels. Consequently, an inner sense of vulnerability and hopelessness incapacitates us, stopping us from listening to the voice of reason. During this time, we may feel like complete failure and see no hope in making an effort. As a society which now believes firmly in competing, achieving, and winning, we have erroneously turned examinations into larger than life events. We seem to have forgotten that an examination is just an innocuous assessment to tell us how well we have grasped a particular curriculum and where we need to improve in that specific program. Whatever be the results of an examination, they can never change who we are and what we eventually do in our lives. Therefore, whenever we are stressed, we must remind ourselves that it is just one exam, and in our long life, it is not going to be the end of the world. Life will give us many other chances to grow and evolve into a better person. Letting go of this immense pressure, breathing out our worries, and smiling freely during examinations is the right approach. Comparing ourselves with others builds a lot of fear in our psychic and derails our progress. Rather than thinking about either defeating others or getting defeated by them, we should drop this unhealthy thought process and make self-perfection our long-term goal. Let us always strive to improve ourselves, working hard on overcoming our weaknesses and realizing our inherent potential. Giving up smaller, mundane goals to pursue a higher ideal is the key. We can create a broad vision by visualizing a better self, imagining a healthy body and a strong mind, happier self, harmonious relationships, and a meaningful life. There are still two more paragraphs. I would cut it short. This was sent by Swami just now. The title of which is very important. Why make examinations larger than life events? That's exactly what we were discussing all these days. That is, tests and examinations should be now and then. That's all. It should not be the focus of everybody. Especially for 6th and 7th, why should that be talked at all? Leave it to the teacher completely. He knows and she knows when to do it. Just give them the broad things, what should be done, like this, in 6th class level, only this should be taught. And leave them whenever they want to do. Monthly tests, tell them only brief, little do's and don'ts. Don't make examination too important in life. So this is a very, very important, beautiful reminder Swami has sent. We should keep this in mind, and thanks to Swami, our great gratitude to Swami. Let's see, for children, what kind of videos we must put. See, we have to have for example, we have to have that sixth sense to understand when to put the videos, when, for example, afternoon class, suppose you have an afternoon class, first period, because that's the Gurukulam timetable Swami has made. After that, study periods will be there. So first period, let's say you have, what is it that you are going to do in that first period? Suppose you have first period English every day, practice, or once in a week, whatever. What are you going to do in the first period? Suppose you start giving lectures after food. It will not work out at all. So you have to do some practical things. Either you have to do some grammar, or you can do some cursive writing practice, or you can make them do some role play, dramas, role plays, mono actings, or put them some audio visuals, activity based things. And morning is a time when you can show them reading, how to read loud. You'll be fresh. So you have to be very careful in understanding when to present what, because these are basic things for a teacher to know. Because wrong thing at a wrong time. Swami says, what is dharma? Doing the right thing at the right time and the right place. That is dharma. If you do the right thing at a wrong time, it is wrong. If you do the right thing at a wrong place, it may be right time also, it may be wrong place. See, a right thing at a right time. Just say, for example, right thing at a right time. Say, for example, just give an example for that. Right thing at a right time. Anybody can help me? But at a wrong place. Say, you are going to temple. Okay. And inside the temple, you are speaking to your officer, your boss. Okay, over phone. Now, you are doing your duty. He has called you and he has asked you to give a report. You have to do. But not inside the temple where, priest is there, everybody is coming for some other work. It's a wrong place. And you can't eat their non-veg inside the temple. Or any prohibiting food. See, eating non-veg may be dharma for some people. For example, those who are laborers, those who are hard workers, sportsmen, they need to eat, soldiers, otherwise. But they can't do it inside a temple. You can't do that. So wrong place, even if you do the right thing, it will be wrong. So this is dharma. To remember, right thing, right place, and the right time, at the right time. That is dharma. Similarly in classrooms also, same thing holds good. If you do all these activities at wrong time, it will be meaningless. You should understand the psychology of students very well. Psychology is very, very important. If you do lecturing in the afternoon, it will not work out at all. I feel that youngsters should be more, motivated by all of us. By all of us, youngsters should be motivated. So in turn, brothers and sisters, they need to get, we have made only 35 sheets. They will get Xerox and you kindly give it to them. when you go back to your elders, means the teachers. Teachers may give it to you, but we want that all handouts, the youngsters should not miss having that. So you can give the Xerox to the elders in your campuses. So kindly see that all the youngsters, they have all these handouts. It will be very useful for them. Then I wandered lonely as a cloud that floats on high over vales and hills. This is also many such figures of speeches. Continuous as the stars that shine and twinkle on the Milky Way. Can you tell me alliterations? Fluttering and dancing in the breeze. Trees, breeze. Rhyming scheme, anyway, very easy to find out. Alliterations. Alliterations. Can you find out alliterations in this poem? A host of golden daffodils, a host, okay. I gazed and gazed but little. What wealth the show to me had brought. What wealth. Wah. Even 2-3 words. Even 2-3 words having the same kind of pronunciation. Wah. You can mark it. So one of the tests, maximum kind of thing that you can give to children is mark the rhyming words, mark the alliterations in each poem. So they'll get to know how the poems are made. Okay. And one more poem which I had given was, before that one more I have given, no? No. One more. Twinkle on the Milky Way. Previous line you have to see. Twinkle on the Milky Way. Continuous shine. Some of the poems, it need not be rigidly according to 1-3 only. They'll have a different, they'll go deviate little bit more. So, but it will have nevertheless that rhyming effect. So it will be in a different pattern. Yeah, internal rhymings also may be there. So all this kind of, poets have all this, they sometimes bypass, they are a little bit, they break the rules and all. Now, Solitary Reaper also. This is one poem which I love most. William Wordsworth is, anyone who could read this, anyone can read this, anyone would, because this lyrical beauty of this poem is too much. It's too great. Lyrical beauty of this poem. Because look at the way, you can sing out your heart. Behold her sing, no nightingale did ever chant more welcome notes to weary bands. Of what is that? Of travelers in some shady haunt of among Arabian sand. A voice so thrilling never was heard. Here also lot of alliterations. You can find out alliterations. Lot of alliterations are there. Will no one tell me what she sings? Perhaps the plaintive numbers flow. A lot of alliterations are there. And in addition to the depths of the meanings to which they take us, we have all these lyrical beauties, we have all this, sing-song kind of thing. And so that is one thing. This is very, in fact, what we have to inspire the children, not by telling that we'll give you marks. You have to by heart, we'll give you marks. And it's, as I told you, at gunpoint, you are telling that you should tell I love you. It's not possible. So if you tell them, by hearted, I'll give you marks, they'll not by heart it happily. But you have to inculcate in them that tomorrow I'll give a prize to anyone who by hearts and with actions who will recite the poem. Behold her single in the field, yon solitary highland lass, reaping and singing by herself. Stop here or gently pass. Alone she cuts and binds the grain among the, and sings a melancholy strain. Oh, listen for the wail profound. Anyone who does like that, reward it. And everybody else, oh, how nice. By-hearting and it is so nice. It's such a nice thing. I should also do this and get the reward. Positive reinforcement it is called. Rewarding is called positive reinforcement without much negative effect. So this is about poetry. Now I want to how intonations are so important. How intonations are so very important while teaching prose or poetry. Now here is a set of sentences where I'll just show you the first one. Very interesting. I'll just show you the first sentence. By intonating on every word in a different way, by stressing on every word, I have a different meaning. I'll have a different meaning altogether. See, let's say first sentence. And then I'll try it out. I'll give some time for others. You can try it out. How to recite the sentence. How to pronounce, you tell these sentences. Now see, say for example the first sentence. You got? This is the teaching of prose. Poetry, dear brothers and sisters, did you all understand about teaching of poetry? Any doubts is there? You can always ask me. Teaching of poetry, that's all about it. Mainly for inspiration, it should not be assessed, and all these figures of speeches should be taught in an inspiring way, not by assessing, and it should not be assessed. And plenty of poem recitation should be done. Group recitations can be encouraged. Group recitations can be encouraged about poems. Any doubt about poem recitations? Any doubts? Okay, now let me just see this. When we are reading prose chapters also, I had attended a workshop where I got this worksheet. I got this worksheet somewhere there. It was so nice that I preserved it. For this day, it became useful now. See, now for example, I'll take the first sentence. What is meant by, what is this intonation modulation? What is this intonation modulation? Premchand, I'll tell you something very nice. He reminds me of my school days where I was naughty. Okay, this sentence let me read. I don't think that can be true. So see this sentence. I don't think that can be true. Now here, I'll stress on every letter or every word and see what the meaning will be. Okay, first I'll say, all of you just note down. All of you just note down this. I don't think that can be true. I don't think that can be true. You're stressing on I. I don't think that can be true. Okay. Now, it is me that, I don't think that can be true. So, I am important here. Next one, see. I don't think that can be true. I'm stressing on don't. I don't think that can be true. You're familiar with this? Some of you are already familiar. How did you come to know? In previous, in degree they did this. Okay. All right. But how many don't know this? You're unfamiliar with this, many of you. Okay, that's right. Some of you are already familiar. In degree they have done. So this kind of sentences can be built, in fact. It gives us good practice. The next one, I don't think that can be true. Next one is, I don't think that can be true. I really don't think that can be true. You are giving importance to thinking. Then, I don't think that can be true. See, I don't think that can be true. You're stressing at, you're talking about that particular thing. I don't think that can be true. I don't think that can be true. That means you're stressing on that happening, really, that can be true. And then, I don't think that can be true. That really it exists like that, it really happens. I don't think that can be true. It may be false. So here it may be false. First one, I don't think it can be true. That means you may think, but I don't think it can be true. So in each sentence, when I'm now reciting with different intonations are changing, meanings are also changing. So intonations are so important. Even one word. I remember this one beautiful prose chapter by name by Satyajit Ray. His name, the chapter's name was, it was there in 10th class, such a nice chapter. In that chapter, no. Okay, yeah. But in that chapter, there is a character who, at the end, he will understand how to deliver one word, just the delivery of one word. He will get a chance to act in a play or film. And he'll be given remuneration. So at first, he'll not be serious. He'll say, what, my part is not very important. There are heroes. Their part is more important. Mine is a very minor role. I have only 1 or 2 dialogues to deliver. And in fact, he gets only one word to deliver. No or something. And then he understands that even to deliver that one word, no, with all his mind and heart, he has learned that itself will give life satisfaction. Yeah, Patol Babu. Yeah, thank you for giving me a hint. Thanks for giving me a hint. So, Madam knows it because she has taught that lesson. So Patol Babu is a chapter. Satyajit Ray. Fantastic. Films of Satyajit Ray we should see, dear brothers and sisters. Satyajit Ray's films. And he has done one detective serial called Boimkesh Bakshi. Boimkesh Bakshi. Fantastic. It's not less than any CID Sherlock Holmes. Such suspense. Boimkesh Bakshi. Very, very good serial. Very, very good films. All his films are very good films. Satyajit Ray's most of the films we should see, I feel. Elders, I mean to say. Yeah. And next one, I'll just do one more and leave the others to you. And you have to participate in this. What are you doing now? What are you doing now? What are you doing now? See, I'm stressing each word. What are you doing now? What are you doing now? And what are you doing now? See, meaning changes. You are stressing on something else and in every sentence. Yeah. So now, in 5 minutes, I'll just give you 5 minutes. These sentences just in your mind only you do it and take part. Quickly, one sentence we'll do with one sentence. Huh? Maybe 1 or 2 sentences we'll do. Quickly, I want you to participate. Thank you so much. I'll give 2-3 minutes. I'll finish it. Today, prose, poetry, grammar. I must finish this portion with time. Sister. Okay with in phonetics. Okay. 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 You have to stress on K. Okay. How beautiful, I tell you, how beautiful is English language. Fantastic. Correct, no, sir? I'm pronouncing it correctly, no? And I'll become perfect native speaker if we speak like that. Yes. Yeah. Exactly. K. I told you, you can swallow those first letters. Where there is no, what we say, lower stress, you can actually swallow it. It looks nice. Another. Again and again. You can begin with again and again. You know, swallowing some words looks stylish. I'm going to do it. We say, no, I'm going to do it. Swallow quickly, it looks stylish. And we must have a stylish tinge to it. What we say, no, a little phonetic tinge in all that we speak. See, I'll tell you, 2-3 things if you do, you will become like a native speaker. One, I, make it I. Every time you say, I'm fine. Yeah, it's mine. Yeah, it's mine. Every time, yeah, no, it's right. It's right. Keep quiet. Okay, keep quiet. Don't say, keep quiet. And you know, we say right also. Right. Conductor says, no, right. Right. There's no right actually. Right. It's right. Just with this one, wherever you use this, you become stylish. See, Swami Vivekananda, it seems he had that tinge of Western, foreign pronunciation he had. That's why they liked it so much. Indian accent with a foreign tinge, little bit of it. It looks so stylish. And then one more thing which you can do with foreign pronunciation, you can adopt is, one is this I. I told you the other day one more. Wherever A is there, take, make, fake, make it A. Take it. Don't make it. For my sake. You know. Actually, you know, serious, for example, we say serious. You know, these Amar Chitra Kathas, most of the words in Amar Chitra Kathas, they are pronounced in a native way. For example, serious. Serious. It should be serious. Seriously. Little bit of ear. Seriously. It looks so beautiful. But we say serious. Don't be serious. We say sir. You know. But actually it should be pronounced as serious. It looks so musical. So with all this kind of, you know, pronunciations, we improve now. So one is A, one is this, what we say, I and mine. One more, just take one more. That's all. One more is that this. What is that? One more is there. I've forgotten now. Anyway. Okay.
It seems one Indian went to America.
Yeah.
And to attend some conference.
Yes.
Then his American officer said, "You came to die." Then this man said innocently, "No, I came to live."
So, see, pronunciations, it varies. See, if you don't pronounce properly, I told sure becomes sewer. Like, it becomes all topsy-turvy words. So, it is understood in a wrong way, different way. So, okay. So, now, who will tell the third one? Quickly? Yeah, third one. Yeah. Fourth one. Third one is over? No, third is not over. Okay, fourth one you would let? Yeah, fourth one, madam is ready. Fourth one. It seems that nothing ever goes right.
Sir, I will read fourth one.
Fourth one, yeah, fourth one.
What are we going to do? Going to tell them? What are we going to tell them?
Yes,
What are we going to tell them?
yes. What are we going to tell them? Yeah, next. Still it is there. Every word you have to intonate. What are we going to tell them? What are we going to tell them? What are we going to tell them? Like that you have to intonate all.
Eighth one.
Yeah. Eighth one.
Why would he do that?
Why would he do that? Okay.
Why would he do that?
Why would he do that? Okay.
Why would he do that?
Very good.
Why would he do that?
Very good.
Why would he do that?
Correct. Perfect. Give her a big hand. Perfect. So with one sentence also we learn intonations very well. If you utter it well. Like that Patol Babu. Now that Patol Babu we should. You will do, ma? Sixth one you will do? Please. Please do it. Sixth one.
That is probably not a good idea.
That's probably not a good idea. Okay.
That's probably not a good idea.
Beautiful.
That's not probably a good idea.
That's probably not a good idea. Okay.
That's probably not a good idea.
Correct.
That's probably not a good idea.
Yeah. That's probably not a good idea. And then last one. That's probably not a good idea. Okay. Very nice. Very nice. Thank you, ma'am. Anybody else? Yeah, please. Sisters are taking more chances. Boys, come forward. Amrut Khalal. Defeat. Anyone? Yeah, next one. Yeah, you. Which one, sister?
Seventh one.
Seventh one, yeah. It's always the same.
It's always the same.
It's always the same.
It's always the same.
Very good. It's always the same.
It's always the same.
Yeah, correct.
It's always the same.
Beautiful. Sister is a resource person. Because I tell you, she'll teach Paravidya, she'll teach Veda. I've gone to her campus, I've gone to all campuses. For Paravidya, I'll be going for campuses. No? So she teaches Veda, Stotra, songs. All in all, she is for children. She's mother also. And she takes care of them. She's great. All big hand for her, really. Big hand for her. Okay. Yeah. Next one. Which one you will do, Amrit?
The last one, sir.
Last one. Your hair looks. Now, hair and hair. Plural also same, and actually hair is actually plural only. And singular hair. There's no singular plural in this. Yeah. Amrit, start.
Your hair looks really different.
Your hair looks very different. Very good.
Your hair looks really different.
Fantastic.
Your hair looks really different.
Your hair looks very different. Very good.
Your hair looks really different.
Fantastic.
Your hair looks really different.
Your hair looks really different. Very nice. Beautiful. Give him a big hand. Murli now. Murli is ready. Yeah. Which one? Fifth one, huh? What he told? What is it? His favorite is fifth one, huh? There's something fishy about it. Okay.
11th one.
All right. 11th one. Right? Oh, no.
Where did you hear that?
Where did you hear that?
Where did you hear that?
This first one. Next.
Where did you hear that?
Where did you hear that?
Yeah, okay. Where did you hear that?
Where did you hear that?
Okay.
Okay, no problem. No problem. Yes.
What a terrible thing to happen.
first.
What a terrible thing to happen.
What a terrible thing to happen.
What a terrible thing to... Okay.
What a terrible thing to happen.
Beautiful.
What a terrible thing to happen.
Fantastic. Correct.
What a terrible thing to happen.
Correct. Exactly. Very good. Correct. That's right. Perfect. Perfect. Very good. So, okay, now that's, I think we have done enough practice in intonation modulations. Now you will understand why this is important in prose teaching. Now I'll give you, I've included for all the class. I mean, it's so nice. They have enjoyed it so well. It shows how we have to really inspire the children by teaching good lessons. Selecting the chapters is very important. Not simply, some chapters, dull and dreary, boring it will be some of them. So we have to select something very adventurous, something very nice. I'll stand here now, and now I'll begin this chapter. Just see, this story is called The Sniper. The Sniper. Who is a sniper? The one who is fighting for his, country. There's a civil war going on. See, the setting is, there's a civil war going on. Two people, please adjust with this and concentrate on the story when I read it. And you'll see that it is like a moving motion, motion picture going on in front of your eyes. Something happening, but only if you concentrate, you will be able to enjoy this. Teaching of prose. We have finished with poetry, and only grammar is left out, teaching of grammar. Now this is teaching of prose. And just now we have done intonations, an exercise on intonations which shows where it is required, how to intonate, where we have to stress. So I'll just show you this, and then we'll take chances by all of you. You can read out this at fair intervals of time. Some of you, at least some of you. So there is a civil war going on, and see, any prose lesson that we choose must have a moral ending and must have a moral theme for itself. Selecting the book is very important. This is for a reading activity. Now, all this time, what we did, we showed some audio visuals. That is for listening activity. We did spoken language activities. That was for spoken assessments and spoken and learning. And this is for reading now. So lessons or textbooks are only for reading part. We should not think that is the all in all. That is the entire syllabus. We should not think like that. See, some of the chapters will definitely have some relevant activities, no doubt, which is connected to spoken and all that. But it is always better to have separate syllabus for each so that we don't miss training each aspect. This is very important. What generally happens is we get stuck up with one book, so-called book, and whatever activities they have given as exercises, only we get stuck up with that. We don't invent our own things. So we must have separate syllabus for reading. Selective, best ones we should select. Indian authors, Swami says by Indian authors, more of them. And the best of the Western authors, best of them. And we, anyway, like for example, murder stories and all should not be. This I'm reading for 12th standard and 11th standard kind of thing. This is for higher children. Small children, you have to read it slowly, properly, some simple lessons that I'll show it out to you tomorrow. This is for higher children. This has a moral theme. You will find it out by and by in the end. So there is a civil war going on. Let me read this. All of you focus on that and keep your fingers or just concentrate on the line. Don't lose sight of the line. Dublin lay enveloped in darkness, but for the dim light of the moon that shone through the clouds. Here and there through the city, the machine guns and rifles broke the silence of the night. Republicans and Free Staters were waging civil war. On a rooftop, a Republican sniper lay watching. Beside him lay his rifle, and over his shoulders were slung a pair of field glasses. His face was the face of a student, thin and ascetic, but his eyes had the cold gleam of a fanatic. They were deep and thoughtful, the eyes of a man who is used to look at death. He was eating a sandwich hungrily. He had eaten nothing since morning. Then he paused for a moment, considering whether he should risk a smoke. It was dangerous. The flash might be seen in the darkness, and there were enemies watching. He decided to take the risk. Placing a cigarette between his lips, he struck a match inhaled the smoke hurriedly and put out the light. Almost immediately, a bullet flattened itself against the parapet of the roof. The sniper took another whiff and put out the cigarette. Then he crawled away to the left. Cautiously, he raised himself and peered over the parapet. There was a flash and a bullet whizzed over his head. He dropped immediately. He had seen the flash. It came from the opposite side of the street. Just then, an armored car came across the bridge and advanced slowly up the street. It stopped on the opposite side of the street, 50 yards ahead. The sniper's heart beat faster. It was an enemy car. He wanted to fire, but he knew it was useless. His bullets would never pierce the steel that covered the grey monster. Then round the corner of a side street came an old woman, her head covered by a tattered shawl. She began to talk to the man in the turret of the car. She was pointing to the roof where the sniper lay. An informer. The turret opened. A man's head and shoulders appeared, looking towards the sniper. The sniper raised his rifle and fired. The head fell heavily on the turret wall. The woman darted towards the side street. The sniper fired again. The woman whirled round and fell with a sudden shriek into the gutter. Suddenly, from the opposite roof, a shot rang out and the sniper dropped his rifle with a curse. The rifle clattered onto the roof. The sniper thought the noise would wake the dead. He stooped to pick up the rifle. He couldn't lift it. His forearm was dead. Christ, he muttered. I'm hit. Dropping flat onto the roof, he crawled back to the parapet. Then he lay still and, closing his eyes, he made an effort of will to overcome the pain. In the street beneath, all was still. The armored car had retired speedily over the bridge, and the machine gunner's head hanging lifeless over the turret. The woman's corpse lay still in the gutter. The snipers lay still for a long time, nursing his wounded arm and planning escape. Morning must not find him wounded on the roof. The enemy on the opposite roof covered his escape. He must kill that enemy, and he could not use his rifle. He had only a revolver to do it. Then he thought of a plan. Taking off his cap, he placed it over the muzzle of his rifle. Then he pushed the rifle slowly upwards over the parapet until the cap was visible from the opposite side of the street. Almost immediately there was a report and a bullet pierced the center of the cap. The sniper slanted the rifle forward. The cap slipped down into the street, and then catching the rifle in the middle, the sniper dropped his left hand over the roof and let it hang lifelessly. After a few moments, he let the rifle drop to the street. Then he sank to the roof, dragging his hands with him. Crawling quickly to the left, he peered up at the corner of the roof. His ruse had succeeded. That another sniper, seeing the cap and the rifle fall, thought that he had killed his man. He was now standing before a row of chimney pots, looking across with his head clearly saluted against the western sky. The Republican sniper smiled and lifted his revolver above the edge of the parapet. The distance was about 50 yards. A hard shot in the dim light, and his right arm was paining like 1,000 devils. He took steady aim. His hand trembled with eagerness. Pressing his lips together, he took a deep breath through his nostrils and fired. He was almost deafened with the report, and his arm shook with the recoil. Then, when the smoke cleared, he peered across and uttered a joyous cry. His enemy had been hit. He was reeling over the parapet in his death agony. He struggled to keep his feet, but he was slowly falling forward as if in a dream. The rifle fell from his grasp, hit the parapet, fell over, and then clattered onto the pavement. Then the dying man on the roof crumpled up and fell forward. The body turned over and over in space and hit the ground with a dull thud. Then it lay still. The sniper looked at his enemy falling and he shuddered. The lust of battle died in him. He became bitten by remorse. The sweat stood down on his forehead. Weakened by his wound and the long summer day of fasting and watching on the roof, he revolted from the sight of the shattered mass of his dead enemy. His teeth chattered, began to gibber to himself, cursing the war, cursing himself, cursing everybody. He decided to leave the roof now and look for his company commander to report. Everywhere around was quiet. There was not much danger in going through the streets. When the sniper reached the street, he felt a sudden curiosity as to the identity of the enemy sniper whom he had killed. He wondered, did he know him? Perhaps he had been in his own company before the split in the army. He decided to risk going over to him to look at him. In the upper part of the street, there was heavy firing, but around here, all was quiet. The sniper darted across the street. A machine gun tore up the ground around him with a hail of bullets, but he escaped. He threw himself face downwards beside the corpse. The machine gun stopped. Then the sniper turned over the dead body and looked into his brother's face. Look at the climax. The climax is just, you come to know, looked at his brother's face. Just looked at his brother's face. Sairam sir. Welcome sir. Sairam sir. And here nothing much is described, but it's so emotional, it's so touchingly described. Immediately you understand what is it being hinted about. What is the theme of this prose chapter? Now, wherever we have an occasion of intonating and modulating our voice, we must not lose that occasion. Wherever we have to select the stories in such a way, it has a moral theme, it is adventurous, there is a rising action, there is a climax, there is a falling action. Any story writing, even if you have to write a short story, it should have a rising action, gradually building up the suspense. It should have a climax. It should have a falling action. Suppose you start writing a short story. Everything was perfect. And the car started from the Prem Deep. You start the short story like that. Everything was still around. And thousands were sitting as if no one was there. And the signal came out. And the car started from the Prem Deep. The hearts throbbed with devotion, fervent devotion towards the dear Lord. All eyes curiously looking towards, necks straining themselves to have a glimpse of that sweet Lord who would now arrive in any moment to inaugurate the sports meet. You begin the short story like that. Gradually you start, then build up the suspense, and then you create suspense. So how to write a short story? We have to, this is a way, generally it is written. Generally, that's all. There are various types of short stories. So adventurous, for example, plain ones. So you have to build up the theme. First, you must have a plot for yourself. You should have a plot. Then characters. And then you start with this rising action, falling action. Have a climax where it comes to the climax. And then gradually it falls down. It's called falling action. So see, look at this. This also started like that, gradually, then built up a climax. At the end, it was a real climax here. Here the climax was at the end. So what is the moral theme of this prose lesson? What is the moral theme of this prose lesson? Can anyone tell? Can you give a title for this prose chapter? Sniper is given by them. O'Flaherty. That person has given the. But what other title can you give? Yes, ma'am. Ashoka's last battle. Yeah. Exactly. Correct. So how can you put it? Ashoka's remorse, and that made him to take to Buddhism, no? How can you put it in 2 or 3 words to make, so as to make it a title? Can anyone suggest a title for it? Did you all enjoy this story? And when it was being read out, were you not able to visualize it like a film? Something happening. And once that suspense is built up, in the students, they will be gripping, it will be like they will not stir from their place. You have to create that suspense. You have to create that kind of focus on. See, it's not the children's fault when we say children, they are not focusing. I mean, Swami never accepts that. Swami can never accept it. It's teacher's fault. I have never had such occasion where, I have had some occasions, but then I have understood immediately and repaired it. I have had many such occasions where I felt that the boys were becoming restless, no doubt. We have a number of such occasions. But we should know how to get them around. Immediately change the topic. When it is getting restless, change it. Change the scenario. Try to change it. So you should see that classroom from beginning till end, it should be heart-throbbing. It should be like, it should pass off like just 1 minute, 2 minutes. 3 hours film should pass off like 3 minutes. Then only it's a good film. You should not know the passage of time. Now, when you're reading this, the whole imagination is what is happening there. And it's building up suspense. So what is that suspense? Who is that other sniper? Who is that other sniper you're talking about? See, that is the suspense. And he says, intuitively, this sniper has got that intuition. There's something happens, blood relations especially. You know that, it's like, that story where we remember always in that Hamar Chitra Kathas, unless that point is touched, his life is in some bird or some, thing. I don't know whether you're familiar with this, that Rakshasa's, life will be in some bird. And unless that is touched, he will not be harmed. Whatever may happen, whoever may kill him, he'll come back to life because his soul is in that. So this kind of stories, I don't know whether you have read, you're familiar, but this is very beautiful. Like that, he has an intuition. He knows blood relations, you come to know that there's a kind of cord between the heart-to-heart connection. So he has something, he wants to go and see, and he takes a risk. A bullet gun, the machine gun, tears up the ground, it says, isn't it? So he takes the risk and somehow he wants to see who is as good as him. He thought that he is invincible. He thought that nobody can match him. He was matchless. He was unique, unparalleled. But here was somebody who is challenging him. The other sniper is challenging him. Who is it that is a good shot like him? Who has such experience? Who can challenge him? And he wants to see his face. And he was his own brother. Look at the touching way it is touched. Look at the way it ends. And if I have to give a title, I think I should, if I have to give it, Amrit. The Sorrowful Victory. Very good. Beautiful. Fantastic title. It can be hatred and love. Love. Okay. Hatred and love. Separation. Wow. The separation.
Baba, trying to get us to teach our students away from these war stories?
I'll tell you something here about. See, this is, I told you in the beginning, this is for 11th and 12th. Firstly, this is not for lower classes. And because the boys should be matured enough to receive such things. Firstly, and here, there's not any mention about, too much about violence or, it's just a little kind of thing. And I just picked up this chapter mainly for showing intonations and modulations. It's only for that purpose I picked up this chapter, just to show how a short story should be built up, how a story should be read. It is true enough that, see, for example, I taught Julius Caesar, I told you, I taught Julius Caesar for 12 years in CBSE Vidya Kendra, which actually enacts a murder story in front. Students would come to know how he actually stabs Caesar. Parliament, Senate Parliament is going on. Brutus, they are conspiring against each other. And Brutus is, Brutus, Cassius, they've all hatched a conspiracy. And this we have taught to the children for 12 years. But then now we know. Now Gurukulam, we know we are not to select the chapter, such kind of chapters at all. But here, the theme is revolving around very, very good theme. But it need not be selected as a chapter for actually teaching this one. Only to drive home certain points about how prose reading should be done. Because as far as possible, the selection should be such that it should be a very gripping story. It should be gripping story with a moral theme. If you select the chapters itself to be very boring, the children will definitely feel sleepy. They will definitely sleep. So what surprise is there, So therefore, we have to select very good theme, very good chapters, very good, very inspirational chapters, which does not have much of violence. Like, it doesn't. Of course, there are some bullet. For example, last year when Tattva Samiksha Madhuvarna or Matsudan Sai, he gave a suggestion. You can show Yuri, he said. Yuri has little kind of violence, no doubt, but more of moral theme is there, which actually subdues the other part. And it is for higher children. I don't think it should be shown for smaller children like 6th class. Any bullets and kind of killings will not be exposed to small children. But nevertheless, these things which we saw today, Kumbhakarna and all, very, very effective. Such kind of violence you cannot escape totally from all that. You can't. Then you have to keep them in museum. Kumbhakarna and Rama fighting, that also will be, Ramayana also has that fighting and all that. You have to expose them to something or the other. But too much of violence definitely you have to avoid. For small children, you should not show all that, bullet firing and all these things. But for higher 11th and 10th and 10th, 11th, 12th and all, a chapter which brings out moral theme very much, which does not have much of, but try to avoid. I feel this also could be avoided, no doubt about this. So this should be avoided because there's a mention of be avoided for that. So something like that, even by Indian authors, I told you the lines which could be selected, the poems which could be selected by, say, Aurobindo or Rabindranath Tagore. Rabindranath Tagore says, at the immortal touch of thy hands, my little heart loses its limit in joy and gives birth to utterance ineffable. See? What poetic lines, how sublime it is. At the immortal touch of thy hands, look at the way he's describing. My little heart loses its limit in joy and gives birth to utterance ineffable. Or you take Aurobindo, in the blue of the sky, I told you this. In the blue of the sky, in the green of the forest, whose is the hand that has painted the glow? He is lost in the heart, in the cavern of nature. In the luminous net of stars he is caught. Look at the imagery. Look at the devotion it infuses into you. Such kind of words, such kind of works should be selected. And R.K. Narayan's, most of it is very good. Malgudi Days, then, Swami and his friends, and then Sudha Murthy's, most of the children's stories. Sudha Murthy's stories, I think, can be prescribed. I had prescribed a novel for our Vidya Kendra when I was teaching. For 6th class, 1 novel. 7th class, 1 novel. Sudha Murthy, R.K. Narayan, I have selected like that. I had selected like R.K. Narayan's is too good. Especially an astrologer's day. Take, for example, an astrologer's day. Beautiful lesson. Paraphernalia. He'll be sitting by the side of the street. I don't know, those who have read, they'll enjoy this. Astrologer's day. Beautiful English. Lucid, beautiful English. But nevertheless, for higher children like university boys, and this chapter, mainly it shows, if I have to suggest a title, I should say, Futility of War. No, the futility of war. And ITY words, how it should be pronounced? Futility. Third syllable from last. Third syllable from the last. So, where the stress should be? Futility. Futility. Correct? ITY. Futility of war. Futility of war. Every word should be stressed to have its magical effect. So English, every word can be stressed according to that rule, and you can enjoy that musical effect of English if you speak really well. If you adopt that for that. Of course, you don't have to change your accent. Just go by your Indian accent. Add a foreign tinge to it, little bit of it. Then it looks quite stylish, and you can manage very, very well everywhere in all situations. And this is about prose teaching. And never teach anybody explaining too much, dear brothers and sisters. Never teach anybody explaining too much. It kills imagination. It kills your creativity. For example, did I teach any word by word, anything? Did you not understand this? Did you not understand this story? You understood, no? Every word of it you have imagined what is happening, right? You see, you have to read it with intonation, that's all. Poems, it will be blasphemy if you explain it. But then what you should do, you may ask me a question. Some poems are little difficult. Some poems are difficult poems, no doubt. For example, all are not lyrical poems. Some are ballads. Some are... I went past 5 minutes. I'm extremely sorry, sister. I'll wind it up in 2 minutes. We have to give that now. So I'll wind it up in 2 more minutes. What was I saying? The ballad, and so such kind of poems, for example, all are not lyrical poems. Some poems may require explanation, but what you have to do is you have to make them read. You recite the poem first with full of intonation, modulation, wherever. After that, you have to make them think and let them think and read. And then you start putting questions. Instead of explaining line by line what we should do. See, positive teaching, you have to put questions, eliciting answers from them. Eliciting answers from. What do you think? Why do you think this line is told by the poet? Then somebody will tell, ma'am, this is the reason. Yes, correct. Then you reiterate that. Reiterate that point and clarify. See, indirectly you have to teach the poems, not directly. Most often what happens, the teachers will say, now I'll explain the poem. And line by line that, this is not the way, it is killing the poem teaching. It kills the poem. You should never teach poems like that. And lyrical poem, you need not teach. Lord Allin's daughter, when I read out, did you not understand the story? Lord Allin's daughter, you understood, no, sisters? Brothers, correct, no? So you need not teach at all. By your intonations modulation, they must be able to imagine, guess. You leave them to struggle. Only, I told you, in the condition of challenge, only they learn. In the condition of challenge, only they learn. We all have one very big mistake. What we are doing is, we are catering down to children's comfort level. We are catering down to children's comfort level. We think that by making it easy for children for exam's sake, this is the worst part of it. We should never do that. Give a challenge to them. In that condition of challenge only, they'll rise to the occasion. If challenge was not given to me, I don't think I would have stood here with confidence and talked to you today. I remember my teachers, how they did not spare me at all. It was a challenge wherever I studied. So you have to give a challenge to them. Don't make it easy. Aim high, soar high. If 90 is the aim, you will at least end up taking 80 or 70. If you say 60 is enough, they will not even score 35. You have to give a challenge to them. You have to say, do this. At the most, you can say, positive way, you can say, again, assessment should not be done for prose, but for, poetry. For prose, you can do some kind of assessment for bigger children, like, for example, loud reading with criteria of parameters. And then, see, question answers, I feel that you don't have to worry about exercises and preparing textbook. And in fact, prepare separate syllabus. They know the story well. You can have your own exercises, create your own exercises. And also, if we have to test them, whether they have read well or not, what we have to do, we should not give questions on the same chapter at all. If they have really understood reading skills, if you have taught them dictionary, if they have learned to involve, I told you, if you teach, what will happen? They'll nod their heads. Correct? They'll nod their heads and it will not go into it's not going to happen. But if you teach them reading skills and monitor the class, if you see that they are really involving in reading, then you can inspire them. Then they will really read and understand. So with this much,
Ananta Krishna brother mentioned, which struck to share this particular thing, was that he mentioned that a teacher should be like a child. So that means a teacher should be a good learner, like a child, which also reverse means that the best teacher is a good learner. So these sessions have brought us to this understanding. We don't know enough as teachers, whatever the length of our experience, more or less, there is still more to learn. So with that, we wind up this little session